Good morning. This is Jill, and it just occurred to me, I was doing the video for Warm Up America, and I'm like, you know what? I didn't tell them why I was choosing to do the Warm Up America for a charity. So I wanted to explain that to you guys a little bit further. Assume that you watched my video on my live on Sunday, which some of you may not have seen that. So anyway, I wanted to do a charity where I could take some of my makes, hats, scarves, and shawls, and just all kinds of blankets, especially blankets. I wanted to make more blankets and lap blankets and things like that. Well, every time I try to find a place to take things, they tell me, well, we don't really have anybody here that can help us to distribute those. We don't really have anybody here. We don't really know what size. We wouldn't be able to tell you information. We don't take those things. We don't have a place to store it. There's so many different excuses and things that I get that it makes it difficult for me to give stuff. And being in Texas, we don't get terribly cold, but we do get cold. And I know there are needs for it. Well, when I was looking on the Warm Up America website, it said that they give to a lot of different places. So I thought, well, so I could put stuff together, I could send it to them, and then they will send stuff to all kinds of different places, whoever needs it at the time. I don't have to worry about trying to find a place who needs it right now, who needs this right now, who needs hats, who needs blankets. I don't have to worry about that. I sent it to one place, and the one place says, this needs this, this needs this, we've got this, we've got that, and they distribute for me. They already have the contacts, all of those things. That's what was important to me. Not only that, but being that I am in Texas, Warm Up America is in Carrollton, Texas. So that's in the Dallas Metroplex. It's right here. Whatever I send is not going to cost me an arm and a leg to send it to them. Although it would be worth it if I had to send it across country also. If I had found a place that wasn't in Texas, I still would have done this. So that wasn't a factor, but it was nice to know that it is close. It was also nice to know that they're sending things to a place called Cook's Children's Hospital in Fort Worth, because my daughter Chelsea had a issue with a little heart murmur when she was born, and we spent a lot of time at Cook's, and we spent a lot of time with their doctors. So that's another thing that was important. I was like, man, I'm giving back now. That would be awesome, So that is why. And I just wanted you guys to know why I chose that. Because I really didn't go into it. So now you can go and you can watch the rest of the video. I hope you enjoy it. If you do decide to send stuff to Warm Up America, like I said, I leave all the information down below where you can go check out their website. Serbs is on the bone. And I will talk to y'all later. Have fun today. Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching. Hey everybody, it's Jill, Fiber Floozie Crafts. How are you guys doing? Okay, Cerberus and I, every time I talk, he's like, who are you talking to me, Mom? Get your bone, but we got to do the bone thing. We are here to show you the things that I am going to send to Warm Up America. So let's see what I've got. It's always bone time when Mom talks to everybody. I've got a big container here, and I'm going to put it up on top of this footstool. And I'm on a footstool that has It's my footstool that's got the roll, well, both of them do. Mr. Fiber puts wheels on these footstools for me. It's so helpful. But let me get this up here. There. These are the things that have been hanging out with me for some time now. And I've decided that it's time for them to have a new home. And on Sunday I explained to you guys about Warm Up America and that I was wanting to send things to them. So we're going to go through this and see if there's anything in here that I could gift to someone in my family, or things I might want to keep for myself, things that I have in here that I hadn't decided yet whether I would keep them or whether they were going to be sold or donated. So if you don't know anything about Warm Up America, I will put a link down below so that you guys can go check it out. But I have a couple things that are, most of my stuff I had put into bags, so we'll have to open the bags to show them to you, so there may be some crinkling. And some things aren't in bags yet. And I will be putting them in bags. Okay, here is that cowl that I made. So this is the cowl that I did on the Addy. And I had done it to right here where these purple stripes are, and then the center portion I crocheted. So I just picked it up right here. See that this purple section right here is a double crochet, and I had picked that up off of the scrap yarn that was on the cowl that came off the Addy, because you start with scrap yarn and then you end with scrap yarn so that you have live stitches that you can put together however you want. And so I had the double crochets here, and I just picked up on those double crochets and continued to do a section of crochet, and then I just attached it together on the other side with that other line of double crochets. Nothing fancy, you guys. Nothing fancy. So it's a double thick, and I will put that one in a bag, and everything will go into a plastic bag. I'll show you in just a minute, and then they will get some tags on them to let people know what they're made of, if anything has any wool in it, and whether they can wash it or whether they need to lay it out flat to dry. And then here is the other cowl that I made. This was going to be a baby blanket, and instead I decided to turn it into a cowl. And this is made with holding 4 strands of DK weight yarn together, which makes it a very hefty fabric. And that's why I did a more open type of fabric with triple crochets and spaces, little eyelet spaces on there. And then I just put some really nice, feminine, fashionable buttons on there. And then it can be worn in a number of different ways. So that's going. Then I have some long super scarves that I made on the Addy using Caron latte cakes. So we have this one, and then I did fringe them, and I didn't use the same cake to fringe them that I did to make them, because I pretty well ran a full cake out when I did it. So then I used another cake and fringed them with another cake that had similar colors in them or that looked nice with it. And so there's this one. This one is called Frozen Ginger. And then we have Pretty Plum. Now I think I'm going to hang on to this one because I'm fairly certain that my daughter Chelsea is going to want this one. And here is how Pretty Plum looks as it works up. Now, there is not a lot of purple. It's mostly a neutral. And I'm keeping them in these ball bands because they are, it will show what they're made out of. We're going to keep that one. And then I have another one made from biscuit. Okay, so that one will get donated. Then I have a hat and a scarf. These were made using Premier Just Yarn from the dollar store. I do not remember the colorways. You will have to go back and look at my video when I made this, and then I put some white palms on the bottom. And then the hat is a two-tone hat. This was the first one I made, and you can turn it inside out. So we've got one full skein of the Just Yarn in this color and one full skein of the Just Yarn in that color. With this particular one, I did not attach this, so it can be reversible, fully reversible. It could also be opened up and used like a scarf. More than likely, I will just put a regular like white sticker tag on here and write whatever I need to write on the outside of the bag. Then I have this set, which would probably be a child set, but it would have to be a big head because this is rather large. This fits me, and it's actually a little big on me. I put this red palm on there, and I have the button on the inside. And it goes with this scarf or cowl, but I made this for Pride. Anyway, it's beautiful, very, very colorful set. Love that set. This one, I just don't think I'm going to put this one in to go to Warm Up America because it's not really what they're looking for in the way of scarves, and this one is made of wool. This was the Kelsey capelet, the very first one I did. You'll have to excuse me, guys. We are at 90 degrees today here in Texas, and so it is pretty darn warm for first part of April. So I do have the air conditioners on. I hope that doesn't upset the sound too much with the new mod that I have on my camera. So I'm going to set this one aside and decide what I'm going to do with that. Okay. believe this one is the, yes, this one, Cinnamon Stitches shawl. Isn't it beautiful? Turned out really, really good. This was made using her pack that Premier did for her, the Cinnamon Stitches pack. I made her shawl with it, and then I gave a pack away. And on the outside here, I used kind of a ribbon yarn that I had to go all the way around the outside. I also added just a little bit of mohair. On part of it, I went through and put a little bit of mohair, held it together. So that's going to be really nice for somebody. It's going to be nice and warm. This one is another shawl. This is the Lion brand. Can't even remember the name of this one. I'm not going to take it out actually because I have a picture of it right here to show you guys. That's what it looks like. We're just going to leave that one. And I have a picture of this one. This is the Whirligig. It's a bag of day pattern. I'm just going to straighten out this picture for you. So you can see what that looks like. Now this is something that I won, but it's so heavy, and I honestly don't wear it. It's too heavy for my shoulders with my fibromyalgia. And it is a very beautiful pocket shawl. I have several headbands. Front post, back post. So 2 of each. So front post, back post, front post, back post. No, this is knitted. These are knits and purls. 2 knits, 2 purls. So there's that one. And then this one. This one is, I made a couple of these that were the other one is in here. Okay. So this one I made using Hometown, I believe. And I put the, and it is stitched on, but I put the ring around the middle part. And this one I did by cinching it together in the center. And here is the cowl. I have a tutorial for this, and I have a written form of this on my website, fiberflooziecrafts.com. Easy knit cowl. the Neapolitan cowl, because I have it in another color. And so this one was done with the Lion brand yarn. This one is a camo, and it's a cowl and a beanie. This one is another headband, and this was done with Kramer yarns. This is front post, back post. So just that. Nope, it was knit purl. Again, it was knit purl. Because a reason I know that is I can tell by how it was cast on and not crochet. There's no crocheted edge. So I can tell that this was a knit and a purl. Some of these fuzzier yarns, it's hard to tell what that is, but that's a knit one, purl one. Serbs went to get a different bone. This is the Benjamin scarf. I have a tutorial for this here on my channel. This is the scarf that you see on my Facebook page for my business Facebook page. And I also made a hat to go with that. This is the hat, and this is made the same way as the scarf, and it's done sideways, and then you stitch it together. And that's where I stitched it together. You can barely tell. And that is the Benjamin hat. And then I just put a small, almost like a tassel. I figured a tassel would look better than a palm. And what I did on that is these are all the ends that came out at the one side. Instead of stitching them in, I left them there, and then when I cinched it all together, I just put a yarn around that and made it into like a tassel. This is the Neapolitan cowl, and this is, you can see now why it was called the Neapolitan. Looks like Neapolitan ice cream. This is a cotton yarn from, you'll see it in the pattern when you go and see the pattern on my website. Gosh, it's not Kramer. Might be Kramer, but it's a cotton. It's their cotton. They're bulky. And then I thought this hat looked good with it. This is the Bon Bon Beanie by Bag O' Day, where I put the fur around the edge. And I just thought that set went really well together. Some of these are hard to find where they open. This is a scarf. And this is made using this same yarn, except I held it together with another yarn and marled it. And this is very squishy. Makes a great, I made it long so it could be doubled. And it is very squishy. It is very comfortable. It's very soft with that other yarn held together with it. I thought there was a hat. I think actually I wore them together. I have a picture of me wearing these. So I may stick these together in a bag because I think that would be good. I have the baby blanket that I made, you guys, the really bright, happy baby blanket. It's the baby granny. I gave the Terra blanket to someone local. There's the man that has been mowing for us in town. He and his wife just had another child. I think this is their 4th child, and it's a girl. And I didn't know him before they had the other children, but I made this Terra blanket, and then I had a little baby outfit with a hat, and it was a layette that I did, and I gave him that set. This is another headband and cowl. So see, here's the cowl, and then here's the headband. This actually would be a great set for a child. And this is using Mandala Sparkle, but I don't remember the name of the colorway, but that's what the scarf looks like. And it has a nice ruffle around the outside. I'm gonna have to put a new bag. This one tore. This one is a cowl. This is knit, and it's boho style, and I used some fun fur in ever so often. Is it fun? And then I put it together with this because I thought these colors would go well together. And this is another Bag O' Day hat pattern. I make a lot of her hats, and this one was a textured one that I don't have the name for, but it textured out absolutely beautiful in this yarn. I will have to put that in another sack. This is a beanie that was given to me by Shad that he knit, but it's way too short for my head. It does not come down far enough for me. I like them to come down over my ears. This would be a great one for a man that, you know, to just kind of go like a regular beanie at the top of the ear. This is a set my daughter Chelsea made this hat, and it came out a little bit big, a little bit on the slouchy side. It was her first time using the pattern by Ross to make his Ross hat, except it just came out a lot bigger than Ross's pattern, but it would make a great slouch for someone. And I thought that it looked really good with this cowl that I made. Using these funky yarns, and I think that this purple is a landscape, solid landscape color. And I thought those looked really nice together to make a set. And I have a couple of loveys. Most of my loveys have already sold or been given away. I have a couple still made up. There's this little elephant guy. I can't tell you what the name of the yarns were. I may switch these, to be honest with you. I think those would look, let me do that. This is a little horse, a little unicorn horse. But I think, no, they're all right. There's the little elephant. They're okay. They're okay how they are. This is the pattern by Zelda NRJ3. This is a larger camo beanie. This is not a pattern at all. I just went with it. But it's a camo. And this would be great for a guy, especially a homeless. The guys tend to like the camo. I think that'll work out great. I'm actually putting these back in now. Got enough room to put them back in. This cowl, I think it's a cowl. Yes. This is more of that same yarn. I was using it up. It's got like a shell stitch cowl. I love making things in the bulky yarn, and I love making them where I add yarns together. It's just that for here in Texas, most of the time it's not going to sell because it's going to be too heavy, and I'm not going to wear it because it's going to be too much. This is a towel set. Don't think, yeah. They're not asking for these. So these I may hang on to and we will use them because I have cleaned out my towels and things. So I have some room for this in my own drawer, and I know that they will not use them. But it's a set that I cut the towel in half, and I used the pattern by Victoria at Alaska Crafty Gal, and I did her tutorial, and I put tops on them, and then I made this, which is a doily, and I will find a place for this here in my home. This is a set. I did this one using the Ross hat pattern, and it is a urban chic yarn. I love that color. Isn't it beautiful? Don't remember the name of it, but I know it was an urban chic from Hobby Lobby, Yarn Bee. This actually was a pattern that came on the ball band with this yarn. The yarn color, and I absolutely adore this color. This is called Bordeaux, which is made a wine, and I just love this color. Most of you think I only like teal, but I have lots of favorites. Teal would be right there at the top. And this was a knit pattern, but it just turned out it was really hard to see the pattern once I finished it. But I really like it. It's just knits and purls. But it made it nice and squishy. So that is everything, you guys. Now you know what's going to be given to Warm Up America. Like I said, I will put everything down below for you so you can decide whether you want to send them some things. You need to read through their website about the things that they want you to send. And I appreciate you guys watching. Leave me a comment below. Let me know where you send things that you make, and I appreciate it. You guys have a fantastic day. I will see you soon. Have fun today. Bye, everybody. Say bye, Serves. Serve says bye too.